Making his way through the cryptoverse. Join me on my journey. Let's have some fun. We're going to go ahead and read some of my poetry, catch up on it. This is my Steemit blog. You can find it on Steemit. Just search for Acoustic Stevo, all one word, and my blog will pop up. Alright, so I'm doing a Poetry 365 challenge. And I'm way behind on actually reading the poetry that I've been writing. I've been writing a poem every day since the beginning of the year, and I kind of want to catch up to my most recent poem, which is called The Tale of Acoustic Stevo, and it's going to be a long poem, so I'm writing it like day by day, little by little, piece by piece, and I kind of just want to catch my poetry up to the point of when I started on that. So I'm going to get a little bit of that done right now while I relax in the bathtub. That's how I do things around here. If you come into this live stream, please chat. I'm trying to see if this application I've got going is a good one for chat. So far I'm liking it. It's a gaming app, but I've figured out how to use it for my purposes. Alright. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my last sonnet, and then I can go ahead and read from there. Alright. In case you didn't know, Steemit is a cryptocurrency-based social media blogging platform where you can earn this social, this cryptocurrency called Steem, and you earn it by posting. Not everything you post will, people upvote your posts, and that's how you earn Steem. The more Steem they have in their wallet, the more powerful their upvotes are, and that's kind of how it goes. It has its good points and its bad points. But I like it just for putting stuff on the internet and kind of having my own little free blog that can earn me cryptocurrency. I've made some money off of it. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. Alright, so there we go. That was Sonnet 33 was my last one, and I read that one already. So we're going to go to my next poem. When I took after the sonnets, I knew I was going to do the Tale of Acoustic Stevo, but I didn't want to start it right away, so I just took a break and just wrote poems for a while. So I'm going to read those poems. And this first one I'm going to read is called Finding Christ. I get all my pictures, or most of them. Sometimes I use video stuff, or pictures that I own, but most of my pictures that I don't own that are created come from Pixabay. So if you were to click on that little link called Source, it would actually bring you to the Pixabay page where I got this. And the cool thing about Pixabay is they actually set it up so that you can, you don't have to attribute anything. I do attribute it a little bit, just so people can know where I'm getting it and stuff, but it's not a requirement. So I like how easy it is to interact with the pictures on there. So here we go. The lattice of conflicting stages integrates the conception, boldness, emerald salads of Christendom. Come forth, you inspired lot, break your religion to pieces to find the fruit in the basket. Alright, so I wrote that on April 2nd, so I'm going to go on to my next poem. Alright, looks like my bath is about full. I'm relaxing my muscles. I just did a bunch of yard work. I'm getting clean and relaxing, and oh man, it feels good. I had martial arts yesterday too, so my muscles definitely can do with some heat. Alright, so that was Finding Christ. And The thing about Steemit is you can do something called re-steaming, which is putting other people's stuff on your your blog. It's kind of fun, so I do that. So when you see something that's not a poem, or if it's a poem of somebody else's, that's what it is. I'm re-steaming other people's content. But my next one is called Topsy Turvy Sun. Winter's shadow is clearing, upended by the topsy-turvy sun. We wake and sleep, wake and sleep. The dreams are brightening up a bit. So is my recourse. All right. So that was Topsy-Turvy Sun. Again, if you come into this live stream, please chat so I know that you're there. I want to make sure my chat's working, so even if it doesn't come through and I don't say hi, I can go back and look and I will have seen your chat on my actual page, my YouTube page, and I'll know that I'm not able to see it on here. So, all right, my next one is going to be False Flag Facts, day 94. All right. The simple presence of a sign is exposited in the perpetuity of your eyes, landing gear down. In a matter of banded sheets upon my black back, a business decision is not. So now, thinking hard at matter, trying to shift to sway away, but knowing that relinquishment of outcome is the only desired banality. Because the numb facts are becoming hard facts that we may have to swallow like hard pills with no water. The softer junctions have been matriculated by the judges of false flag facts. All right, so that was that. Next is going to be, this one's called Work. All right. The bigger men are those who love a strong strike is only a match struck, a flame comes from intent, and a fire comes from work. All right. And that was called Work. You've noticed that I write short poetry mostly, so yeah, it should be pretty quick to get through a bunch of these. This one's called What Matters. Sitting in the spotlight, sweat falls, and an outward awareness energized by prescribed logic, old truths that transcend new times. Patience, love, acceptance, a realization that the physical does not matter that much. All right. And then we're going to go down to baking. Reaching forward does not have to be precise. The tightly tied apron gets messy. All right. I'm just kind of cruising now. This one is called Mobility. All right. Light your lighthouse up, then, like a treant, uproot yourself. That one was pretty short. Even for me. But I think I said it all that I wanted to say, at least, so I continue. This one's called Learning. When I was in the first grade, I got into trouble for throwing rocks into the road. The rocks were big honking things. You would have thought I'd have the sense to know this would end badly for me, but alas, I did not. You see, I was not looking at the world in a physical way. years later, I understood a little bit more about physics, and so instead of rocks, my friends and I chose to chuck apples. But this time I knew it may not end well for me if I got caught, so I did not get caught. Now I realize that the apples were not a whole lot better than the rocks, because even though they could be pulverized by a speeding vehicle, they could also cause a small beating muscle inside a driver's chest to react in such a way that I could have been culpable for causing death. This did not occur to my 11-year-old mind, which did not think in such ways. Being startled was not a big deal. Life is about learning. That one was fun to write. Alright, this next one is called Sunspot. It's kind of fun going through these because I don't really spend a lot of time reading them after I write them. I mean, I got 365 to write this year, so it's a lot of poetry. So it's kind of fun when I go back and I read them because it's like I get to experience them all over again, you know, because when I write them, when I actually write the poem, I experience it, so when I come back and I read it, I get to experience it again. It's kind of fun. Drinking live miracles atop a rainbow cloud, falling further into waves. The luxury of being taken care of is a myth. I long to inspire you. I long to pull the truth out of you. I can be wrong, but I can also be right. And that one was called Sunspot. Hey, Gemma, thank you for chatting in my chat. You just let me know this works, and that's awesome because I've been looking for this app for a long time. Tried so many different iterations, and this one will let me see the chat, which is what I'm after. I want to be able to share my screen, put a little picture of myself somewhere, and see the chat, and this one has delivered, and now I know. So thank you, Gemma. I hope you're having a good day. I really enjoyed your video that you put up recently about the worker at Orlando Disneyland, I believe it was. Wait, no, Universal Studios in Orlando. And yeah, I mean, my kids, you know, they have meltdowns from time to time. I'm blessed that, I love poetry as well. You know what I really like about your poetry? I like how, like, each line continues into the next line, and it just, I've never really seen that before in anybody else's poetry, so it's like a unique quality of your poetry that I really enjoy, how, like, the lines lead into the next thought. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I mean, I don't get around to seeing a lot of videos, but when I actually do, I like to leave a comment and let somebody know the value that I found in it, and I really did like your video. I like that you're bringing awareness to, you know, you have autism, but to things that other people that have autism have to deal with, you know. And that story for me was just as much about the parents as it was the child, because that can be a tough experience for parents when their child has a meltdown in public. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to deal with because as the parent, they're used to you, so they actually have more meltdowns around you when it's just you and them. At least that's my experience with my children, that the most meltdowns that occur are when we're not out in public. I mean, they do happen out in public occasionally, but most of the time my kids are so comfortable with us that when, you know, these things aren't going the way that they envision things to unfold, and it's hard for them to deal with, that's when they melt down, when they're alone with us, because they're safe, you know. So I just thought that it was a good video to kind of, maybe people that haven't experienced it, that see kids having meltdowns out there, they don't always know the full story, and that it could bring some empathy, videos like that. So I really enjoyed your video. Alright, so I'm going to continue with this poem, and this one is called Dialectic, and it says, I know your secret, you like it too, the program didn't work on you. Grab the delight, don't try to stuff it down. It will only resurface. And here's my little picture for that one. I wrote that one in April, so I'm trying to remember when Easter was. Maybe there was something Easter going on that inspired me to use that picture, because that's kind of like a Easter looking picture. Alright, and this next one is going to be called Sprinkles Galore. And it says, the many-flavored lusts of this unbridled earth percolate in our hearts' distractions. Unleash your fettered ways, challenge every narrative. The truth is not given from the wise to the dumb. It's inside of everything, the light that never fades, even in death. Ah. Well, maybe it was leading... I'm not really sure. I know Easter... I don't know if it's different in the U.S. It might be. I'm not really good at remembering dates of holidays because I don't really care, to tell you the truth. I've never been a person that really cared about holidays. So I know it's after Good Friday here in the U.S., so whenever Good Friday is, I don't know if that changes in the U.K., but that sounds about right. Alright. This next one is called Online Debate. Sometimes the blankness of what's being said speaks louder than the words spilling out. That to me, it's kind of like sometimes you watch people get in these heated debates online, and there's more being said in the way that they're acting towards each other than the actual words they're using to describe their point. And that's kind of what made this poem come out of me. Alright, so the next one, this wasn't a poem, but this was on Steam It. It's cool. You can re-Steam things that other people do. And this was one of the people that I know online. They run a food bank, and they kind of show their community and how, where they went in and helped do stuff. There's some trees that fell, and they got together and they helped each other, and that's one of the cool things about the cryptocurrency community is it makes donating to things a lot easier for me to want to participate in, because a lot of times people are like, here's my cause, can you donate to it? But most of the money is going towards administrative fees, because it takes a lot to actually get stuff going and to get all the things where they need to go. But in the cryptocurrency community, there's sometimes people that are scammers, but if you get to know people, you can kind of figure out who is and who isn't. And so it makes it kind of cool, because your money's going directly to the need, like straight to the food, if you know what I mean, not administrative type things. So that's one of the cool things about cryptocurrency. So that's what this is. I know I'm doing my poetry, but I came across this. I just thought I'd scroll through it and show you some of the cool stuff going on online, and how the world can be connected. It's not just me sitting over here in America. I've actually been able to help people with different things all over the world, And even just people upvoting this. You see this post made $16.96. I know that isn't a lot of money, but in that part of the world, it probably went a lot further than it would, in Western civilizations. So I just thought I'd show that real quick. One of the main reasons why I like cryptocurrency so much, that would be in my top 10 reasons, because it can help you connect directly to other communities, and you can feel and see your donated monies being used. And this one is called Siphoning questions from my soul. All right. If in a moment I reach out to nothing and dig in, will I hear a pop? Will a soda bottle drop with a clink to the floor? Will separations begin to divulge the truth of ruins of lives left in shatters of a Christ left crucified in each breath? Is suffering enough to cleanse the palates of inexperience, or some lost broken rhyme left hanging? Maybe we all have demons, specks of corruption that through reverse osmosis we can filter through a God filter and light up our present eye, the one that sees now. All right. I'm probably only going to read a couple more here. I'm going to find a good place to let off that I will remember where I did. I think 105 might be good. That's a good number. I can probably remember that. All right, so here we go. This one's called Remembering Fragments of a Dream Upon Almost Waking. Sleep is calling, a light far off that my mind keeps skipping over, a dinosaur of thought. All right, so that was fairly simple. I want to see something real quick. I want to see how many more I have till I get to my current poem, my current stopping place where I'm going to... Yeah, I got quite a few. So I'm going to stop there. I kind of missed that, what you just said, Gemma, but I will see it. And I did see a wow and something about my poetry, so thanks for coming on here. It means a lot to me, and I'm glad you enjoyed my poetry, and I enjoy your poetry. So that's something we can keep supporting each other in. So thanks a lot. Have a good day, everyone. Whoops. That was something I was doing earlier. I can do live videos in this app too. Oh, Gemma, I'm glad you love my streams. That makes me feel good because sometimes I don't know if anybody even watches them. So, yeah, I'm trying to get better at it and trying to get more like, oh, wow, I could see all your stuff you put in here. Oh, wow, thanks for all your comments. That's really nice of you to encourage me like that. Because sometimes I feel like I'm putting it into a void, you know what I mean? Where it's like only me, and it might be that way for a while, but I do have a vision of the future with it, so it's nice to hear every once in a while that, you know, it is connecting with people, so I appreciate that. All right, Gemma, everybody, have a good one.